Welcome back to the Village Talk with Shalonda. So glad you joined me. Like I said before, if you like the video, please interact with me. Comment, like it, tell me what your thoughts are about it. I definitely want to hear your comments about this. Um, anyway, let me jump right into the video. So, this story comes out of Pottsville, Mississippi, right? One of those places no one has ever heard of. Anyway, Carl Robinson, a Democratic hopeful that was running for election for the House of Representatives in Mississippi, walked in and killed his wife. She worked at this Williams County clinic. Reports say that he was pacing back and forth before he walked into her building, her place of employment, and killed her, and then turned the gun on himself. They ultimately found the gun on the scene. They tried to give CPR to his wife, and unfortunately, before the airlift could take her off, she was pronounced dead. Sad situation. They did have a 3-year-old son. My blessings and prayers goes out to him because that's something that you're always going to deal with. Not only are both of your parents deceased, it's because of the hand of one of your parents, your father, killing your mother. That's something that he's going to have to work through therapy, and you can't really say a person ever gets over. So anyway, some of the details about the story that on the legal aspect, the story states that his wife had changed the agreement. So let me let you guys know about on the legal aspect of things. So even though you're going through a divorce and preparing to have your day in court, usually there are temporary agreements that hold you by until we can get to court, because a divorce is so draining. There's a lot of stuff that's going to go on, a lot of documentation that's going to be in place. And so before you get there, you still might need some things. Like you might still need child support. You guys can't agree with the visitation. That needs to be settled. It might be financial support, whether that be temporary or permanent, or bridge the gap till you get over. Because a lot of times you're left with those bills that you guys both created, or you both were maintaining, and you can't maintain those things alone. So that's what those temporary orders are in place for. Whatever the circumstances maybe were, his wife changed those the day of. And see, the thing is that the story states that Carl Robinson had an attorney, and so a lot of times when one person has an attorney, that person gets what they want. They're led by what their attorney wants, and so they're there like just agreeing, because you don't have that voice, to speak for you. You don't know the system, and you don't know what you can say, what you can't say. So nevertheless, his wife went and got her a lawyer, lawyered up, and she changed the agreement. Mr. Robinson was not pleased with that, assumingly, and he was reportedly pacing out in front of her job, and then he ultimately killed them both. Sad situation. And like I said, Queens, we do have to get those contingency plans in place. What I mean by contingency plans, if you have to move, if you have to go into a shelter, get a protective order, do those things. A lot of times people will show us those signs that they are violent, or that they're not going to take no for an answer. If you ever heard a guy say, if I can't have you, no one will. And not to say that there are any reports, but a lot of times we do see those red flags on a guy where they're showing us behavior that they're not stable. So whether he put his hands on her, those things, sometimes those people you can't just leave any kind of way you want to. Sad. You should be able to say, you know what, I'm done. I don't want this no more. Deuces. But in reality, a lot of people can't take protection. So you have to put those plans in place. And if you have to run and go get on the train, go to your someone out of town's place, you have to do those things, because sadly, this is not the only story where a lady is estranged from her husband and he kills her. People are in their feelings. You got kids, you got money, relationship and love, all those things mixed up together. It's like a gumbo for a fire, So you definitely want to get out the safest way possible if you can. And sometimes you can do all those things and the person's still crazy and you still get the same result, But we try to protect ourselves as much as possible, Queens. Just a little advice. So, like I said, Carl Robinson was a Democratic hopeful running for Mississippi government, and killed him and his wife and himself. Very, very sad situation. Like I said, protect yourself as best you can. If you see those red signs, get out immediately, because it's a little bit better when the sooner you get out. You know, the longer you stay there and feelings get involved and the person's there. And like I said, some people just can't take no for an ounce. They're like, no, I'm not going to accept that you moving on. You have that right. You know, marriage is not a prison that you have to stay in. So no matter what the reasons why she wanted to leave, or he wanted to leave, it was okay. It shouldn't have ended with them two being killed. I believe he was 43 and she was 34. Very, very sad. Beautiful queen, you know, and beautiful king that he could, you know, could have made a difference in the community with his position, and he chose to use that in a negative way. Anyway, you guys, tell me what you think about the video. Like and comment. Coming back to you on Wednesday or Thursday with another video. Anyway, peace. Love you.